So why in the world would you go on this diet? It's the stupidest diet. I'd rather go on the Haagen-Dazs diet and just eat a liter of ice cream. I mean, what is this? And, well, I'm going to eat the carton of peanut butter diet. It's the stupidest. Where are the people coming up with this stuff? The fact that you can even Google it and it shows up is so stupid. Coach Greg, and welcome to episode 13. Lucky number 13, Q&A, where I answer stupid questions and some not so stupid, and I try to give some stupid answers, but sometimes not stupid answers. Don't listen to this, don't watch this, turn it off, don't like it, don't subscribe, unsubscribe, hate me for doing this. Whatever. I'm not even a doctor, don't listen to anything I say. Everything I say is always dumb. Doesn't make any sense, even though I'm right 98 to 99% of the time. Just argue with me and think I'm wrong because you're an idiot. That basically sums up what's going to happen right now. Write your comments below in this area right here. Like in the comment section, write your questions. Do not ever send me a DM ever again. Nobody send me DMs anymore. I get 600 a day. I can't even respond. This is your DM. Delete, 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 delete. That's me all day. Oh, a client, finally. Oh, I have to read that one. And so I have to sift through 600 email, DM, whatever you call these things, delete, delete, and then every now and then, if you have a really, really cool picture of like your French toast and your meal, I'll share like 1 in 10, okay? So sometimes you see on my Insta stories, like, I don't know, maybe there's 20 a day. You'll see a few of these. 1 in 10, it's just like, cool, I throw one in there. So don't expect me to post what you're sending me. Only 1 in 10 actually get it. I don't even read 90% of the things you send me in DMs. So if I didn't respond, it's because I don't care. I just do not care, okay? Think about it. I need a life. I have to do these videos, train clients who pay me. I don't have time to say, my laser eye vision says you're 12% because you want free body fat assessment. I get 50 of those a day at least. Stop it. Stop sending me. Those are the first ones to delete. Anything with an image blurbed up or whatever that I can't, delete, 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 delete. It's like automatic. It's like my life. Delete. That button's gonna wear out so fast, you need a new freaking phone. Let's get into it. Question number 1. Hi. Any advice on reducing injection pains? Does Masteron hurt more than test? Okay. So, to reduce injection pains, other than not injecting and taking orals, or switching brand labels to something that doesn't hurt, you can just use items that don't cause as much pain. So, for example, DHB, notoriously painful, okay? So just don't use that one. Something, esters, like Prop, always going to be more painful than longer esters like an enthate, cypionate. So, avoid doing short estered injections. Okay, Masteron, does it hurt more than test or whatever? Everyone's different. It's usually like just dependent on the injection size. So if you're doing like huge shots once a week versus smaller shots, say every other day, then it's going to be more painful to do larger shots. Experiment with location. So for example, if I do one in the leg, it's going to hurt. I don't like it. If I do it in the glute, it's not going to hurt so much. So just experiment and try the one that you like. All right, next question, unknown here. For the next Q&A, how does it, what am I even reading? How does it take until, okay, they don't know how to write a question. How does it take until, so they mean, how long does it take until someone begins to lose muscle after a gym hiatus like injury and all that kind of stuff? And it says, can an individual maintain their muscle with sufficient protein intake? Well, I'll answer that part first. No, you can't just stop training and eat a lot of protein and keep all your muscle. I mean, that's stupid. That doesn't make sense. So that's dumb. The first part says, how long does it take? Okay, how long does it take to lose muscle? That's a really good question. I can make a 20-minute video on this, but how long does it take? Okay, it depends. Are you on anything? Are any, enhancements? So obviously, if you're on steroids or something, it's going to take longer to lose the muscle that you're building. How hard did you train that session? If you train like super hard, it's going to cause more muscle damage, and your body's going to repair it, and it's going to take longer to repair, and so it's going to be a longer process before you start losing muscle. But really, as soon as you go to the gym and you train, there's some damage going on. Just think you're tapping down that rock wall, and then after that, your body's repairing it. You have, catabolic, anabolic hormones, whatever. We don't get too much into that, but it's going to take some time to build up and build that muscle. So you're actually, the last day you train, a couple days later, your muscles are getting bigger. They're not even getting smaller or maintained. They're actually getting bigger. They're improving. Then, as soon as you're at that peak, so it's getting bigger, better, recovered, and you should train right now, well, one day after that, technically, it's starting to get smaller. So this would only take a matter of days. So it's not weeks or months. So literally, in days' time, your muscles will stop getting bigger. Doesn't mean you're going to get weaker. You could take like a whole week off of deadlifts and be stronger after 7, 8, 9 days than if you just went out and did it again 3 days later. Okay, you probably won't see this, but any advice on coming back from being really sick for 3 weeks? Okay, so yes, go slow. Don't go nuts. Don't be like, oh, I missed 3 weeks. I'm going to train twice as hard as last time because I just missed it. And then, no, ease into it. Go easy. Like the first day, easier than you think. So almost the opposite advice of what you did, harder than it, easier than last time, because you don't need a lot of training stimulus to grow at this point. You've been off 3 weeks, so any kind of stimulus is going to be better than you had because you didn't do any last week. So go easy. So the advice, start easy. Don't go all out. Jonathan Rees wants to know, anyone know how do sprinters keep their muscles when they do so much running? Okay, so much running. They're not running marathons. Sprinters are running short distances. So they might run 40 meters, 100 meters, 20 meters. They might do like 10 or 20 sets or what have you. They're not out running mile after mile, lap after lap. They're running several hundred meters. It's not like a lot of running. And how do they keep their muscles? Well, they don't have like huge muscles in the first days. They look good. They look like, wow, man, they're built. But really, if they stopped sprinting and all they did was bodybuild, they would get way bigger. So it's not like they're keeping their muscle. Take Ian Valera used to sprint. He's an IFBB pro. He competes in the Olympia. You think he's as big back in high school when he was sprinting as he is now? And you think if he started sprinting, he would keep his muscle? If he started training and go, oh, I want to make the Olympics for running, whatever, he would lose like 100 pounds of muscle from sprinting. So it's not like sprinting is some magic thing that they do to keep their muscles. They just have really good genetics to have muscle in the first place. So it's not the running that's creating all this muscle. It's the fact that they're predisposed to be good runners in the first place. It's like the chicken or the egg. What came first? So people are like, oh, marathon runners, they don't have any muscle, but sprinters, they all have muscle, and it's from the sprinting. No, they have fast twitch fibers. They're born that way. So that's why they end up choosing that sport. That's why they become good at that sport. It just makes sense. Kanye West wants to... No, he doesn't. What do you think of Juan Morel's 20K calorie cheat meals on the channel? I think it's stupid. I think it's moronic. I mean, it's cool for views, and that's what people like to see. I don't literally actually think he eats all that food. Maybe he's bulimic. That's probably what he does. Probably throws up between meals. Sorry, that's just what I think. Or whatever. It's not as many calories as say. Not many people in the world can eat more than me. I mean, there's a few speed eaters, but I am not eating 20,000 calories. I don't even care what kind of video it's for. No. I just don't believe that these people are actually eating this in a day. Maybe it's filmed over 2 days. I could eat 5,000 calories a day for a week and then just show all the videos back to back and be like, look, my 35,000 kilometer calorie challenge. So I think that if he's actually eating 20,000 calories, they're not all staying down. Maybe there's a bathroom episode between meals, and that's just what a lot. I'm not saying it's for sure. It's just probably what I would say is probably happening. Doesn't mean it is, but a lot of the famous YouTube fitness people or speed eaters are throwing up after these epic meals, okay? So they're not recording what's going on after the meal. So people, oh, he eats so much, oh my God. A lot of them are bulimic. There you go. Emogama wants to know, I thought if you had gyno surgery, you never have to worry about gyno again. No, because they usually leave like a small part of the gland in and they don't remove everything. And so if there's something left, you can still get gyno. If they take it all, you couldn't, but then you could have an indentation and it would form and you'd be like, whoa, what's wrong with that guy's chest? So they leave a little bit in so you look normal, and there's the truth on that. More plates, or Dave Moore Monk Cleaning Services wants to know, more plates, more dates. Come on, we need to see your response, Greg. Okay, so that would have to do with the Gilbert Godfrey thing that I thought it was hilarious.
Coach Derek, Coach Greg here. Today we're going to be talking about...
I made like 300 videos, and I think 3 had the same topic as him, and I respond to video requests that people give me, so there'll be like 100 videos saying like, do Is The Rock natural? So if somebody else on the internet did The Rock is natural or not, and I do the same video, it doesn't mean I like copy them. And so I don't care. I thought it was funny. It's like, why not? I thought it was cool. And you could say, yeah, he copied me because it's 3. And if he did, well, it'd be a compliment. So like mean plates were dates. We were talking the other day on what do you call it? On DMs. And I was like, oh, I gotta do this dude. Is this Kuman Ling guy? He's playing this new villain dude on like this new Marvels thing. I'm like, I don't even know who he is. And I'm writing him. He's like, oh yeah, man, I have to do that video too. And then like a day later, or maybe 2 days later, he posted the video. And so eventually I'm gonna do the video. And then when I post it, you're gonna be like, oh, you copied him. And meanwhile, I wrote him before he even posted it. And if you don't believe me, just ask him yourself. And we're talking about this video, you know, the before and after. He's crazy. He's the craziest transformation in like movie history, pretty much. He looks amazing. And anyway, so a lot of times you think it's just like you're copying him. And if I am, I am. And if I'm not, I'm not. I don't even care, like, if I am or not. But like, all these people write me and they basically say, do a video on this. And I'm like, okay. And then I do a video. And if somebody else happens to have done the video, then they did. Whatever. Copy all my videos if you want. I don't care. Anybody, just do a video on whatever I did it. Do it a video and say, oh, Greg did this video. I'm going to do it. Awesome. Do it. Next. Nikolaios Kaliatikis says, I get that you say that it's optimal to go train the same body part twice a week, which is why push-pull legs is common routine. But how do you implement cardio in the regime? Is it better to do it after a workout or to dedicate a day or 2 in the week of cardio? Okay, I really think it's better to do cardio right after your training. You're already in the gym and you're there. And it's better to do cardio kind of daily. Like, you just do a little bit, moderate intensity, don't get sore from it. To just say, oh, I'm just gonna do like train with weights 5 days a week and do the 2 days of cardio other days, you might be overtraining, you might be overreaching on those days of cardio. If you say, well, I'm gonna do all my cardio in 2 days and take the other 5 days off of cardio, it's kind of like not how it's supposed to be done. So definitely more of a fan of doing a little bit of cardio all the time than trying to lump it all at once. But I mean, however you do it, you do it. It's better to do it than not, but that's what I would do. Sushan Suresh, does cardio after weights training affect muscle growth in a deficit? Well, it's kind of the same question, but no, it doesn't really. If you don't go too hard and you're in a deficit, you're fine. You're just going to burn a lot more fat. That's all. More calories, bigger deficit. Now, if you're in a deficit of, say, 500 calories, and then you add in an hour of cardio on top of that, and now you're in a deficit of, say, 1,200 calories, then yes, if it's causing you to lose fat too quickly. By too quickly, usually if you don't lose more than 1% a week, you're fine. If you're really fat, you could lose even more. If you're really lean, maybe 0.5% of your body weight a week, because if you're like 7% and you're losing from 7 to 6 to 5, that's too fast. So you want to slow it down. But for the average person, like just you at home, normal person, not crazy shredded, not morbidly dying, 1% a week, if you don't lose more than that, you're good. Hector Piliche. Hypothetically, if you're doing reps of 15 versus 10, but the TUT was the same for both sets at 40 seconds, is there any advantage for one versus the other? Okay, well, that's a good question for sure. Okay, so the advantage of doing like more reps would be that you're explosive, you're gonna be more powerful, you're gonna build more strength doing that than the very slow, super slow controlled form. The super slow controlled form is gonna give you less chance of an injury and is safer to do, much safer. The higher reps with the same TUT, more explosive, more power, more like gonna be better for strength, but more risky, more dangerous to get injured. Okay, so there's your 2 advantages and disadvantages. Aris Pap, hey Greg, what is your opinion on Triptorelin as a one-time injection to kickstart a PCT? I think it's a good idea for a lot of people. I'm not gonna go further than that. Depends on what you've done and the whole thing. But yeah, it definitely can be used for sure. What is the best hour for training for best results? I read a lot about training in the morning versus noon. It applies to guys' night shifts and so on. Okay, so this is the science. This is the truth. The worst time is right in the morning when you first wake up. Okay? Why? Because you're most dehydrated, you're lowest in glycogen stores, and you're half asleep. If you are a morning person, so you wake up and you're like on fire, for you this doesn't apply because it's just as good for you. So it can't be better than later, but it can be worse. So best case scenario, you're a morning person, you go train, and you get the same gains as if you went later. Worst case scenario is it's not as good, you're not as strong, you're not as carved up. It's like you're going in there depleted and you're training. It's like training fasted, empty stomach and all that stuff. Not as advantageous as actually having food, amino acids in your stomach ready to repair and replenish and so on. And if you do go empty stomach, you definitely should get your inter-workout going. Just some other tips for you, okay? Stop with the fasting. Oh, Zev Vivian says, hey Greg, a question here. What is your opinion on the GOMAD diet? Thanks in advance. Okay, let me be honest. I read this question like a week or two ago, and I was like, what the frig is this new GOMAD diet? I'd never heard of it, so I wrote GOMAD diet. And it came up, and it was like, gallon of milk a day or something. Like I read these questions like weeks ago. These are old questions. And I was like, a gallon of milk a day diet. So people are trying to bulk up and drink a gallon of milk a day. A gallon of milk, and it's not even like skim milk. It's got like 2,000 plus calories and a crap load of fat. And it's animal fat, saturated fat, not like good, healthy, quality, good fats like omega-3 high like salmon, for example. It's junk. So why in the world would you go on this diet? It's the stupidest diet. I'd rather go on the Haagen-Dazs diet and just eat a liter of ice cream. I mean, what is this? And well, I'm going to eat the carton of peanut butter diet. It's the stupidest. Where are the people coming up with this stuff? The fact that you can even Google it and it shows up is so stupid. Why aren't people doing my Superman diet? Why aren't they doing my Batman diet? It makes way more sense. If you don't remember, I think it started with the letter S and B was the Batman and it's like eat breakfast and bacon or something. Whatever. It's just as stupid. It's like I'm making up stupid fad diets and how people follow them. Stop following fad diets. Gallon of milk every day. I can't even believe it. It's so stupid. And first when I was guessing, I was like, what is it? To go on MILFs? And like, I was like, it's got to have MILF in it somewhere. Anyway, that's me trying to figure out the thing, and I had to Google it because, like, trust me, I don't know everything in the world. I only know what I know. So if I don't know something, I have to Google it. I'm like, I don't know what GOMAD is, and I thought it was going to be some joke about MILFs. That's just what I thought. Anyway, either that or I read milk, and I thought it said MILF, and I'm half dyslexic, and I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Duck Saucy 69, oh, appropriate. When is baby Nakey gonna have kittens? Well, hopefully soon, because they're currently in the process of mating. And so there's often a lot of screams and shouting and craziness and humping. And so baby Nakey doesn't really know what to do that well. So he kind of goes on top with both feet and doesn't really know where things go. And it's just baby Nakey, he's just learning. So hopefully soon there will be some little ultra baby, little baby Nakeys running around. That's it. Subscribe and click the bell button. If you made it this far, you may as well subscribe and click the bell button. I mean, think of it. You watched this much of this. This was the worst video I've ever done in my life. So if you like this, you're going to like every other video for sure. So subscribe and click the bell button and write your question. And then in the next Q&A, I'll make it less horrible. And I'll wear like a stringier top. But this was in the house. And so, yeah, we'll have a better video and I'll have better answers. And maybe I'll write more stupid questions. This one was mostly intelligent questions or normal questions. Was a few stupid ones, but mostly normal. And I will make this video on, this is the dude. I don't know his name. I probably said it wrong. My brother's like, you have to do the video on this dude. He told me like a month ago. Do it before everyone does it first, and then they'll say you copied it. I'm like, Steve, I don't care. I'll do the video when I have the time. And anyway, and so the Plays for Dates did a video on him. So I'm going to copy his video. So Plays for Dates, I'm going to like watch your video, and then I'm going to be like, yeah, this is the cycle he took. We're not even doing the same videos. He says what cycle they take, and then I say if they're natural or not. So It's similar, but not the same. Okay, so anyway, this is crazy though. Have you seen him before? He's in Silicon Valley. You guys watch Silicon Valley? That's the best show. It's not the best ever, but it's certainly awesome, and I like that show. And I'm like, I was like, what? I just couldn't even believe it. So it's pretty shocking. So I'm going to do a video on that at some point. And, previous videos, watch this one. Watch that one. I don't know what they are. I'm going to let my editor pick out the videos. He's going to post them up. They're going to be awesome because he's a smart dude. He's my brother. He's going to do something. And until next time, I am out.